Great to see you all. Thank you so much for this opportunity of reminding you about the incredible work that you're all involved with in Soroti, Uganda through Global Challenge. As Chris has already said, this church has what I describe as kind of a holy trinity, really. That's the GAP project, the church itself, and of course Global Challenge, the three partner charities that form the basis of the church and its expression of faith. Just in case Global Challenge is something very new to you, or you've reached my age and you've begun to forget what Global Challenge is all about, let me just remind you. So Global Challenge is an outreach project of Queen's Road Baptist Church, and our vision is to enable better health, education and quality of life through sustainable partnership with local communities in Soroti, Uganda. And we are supported in that work by those guys that work on our behalf in Soroti, Uganda, who are so dedicated both in their faith to Jesus, but of course the enabling of the alleviation of poverty amongst all people of all ages and backgrounds. I'm pleased to be able to say that our incredible school, which is so supported by so many of you and those within our wider community, achieved something this year that it hadn't done before. Every single child that entered S4 exams passed their exams and qualified for the next level. Which is an incredible tribute to the dedication of the staff, remembering that some of those children come from incredibly poor backgrounds and live very much hand to mouth in terms of their well-being. And I think that's an amazing thing that the school has achieved. So congratulations to them, and thank you for all your great support that enables that school to flourish in that particular way. One of the things that we've sought to do over the last few years is to help children to try and go beyond, young people really, to go beyond S4. S4 is the level to which we're able to support the school and the students attending the school at this present moment. They then have the opportunity to go on to S5 and S6. And over the years, we've been able to sponsor some of the students, not as many as, of course, we would have loved to have, but to go on to S5 and S6. If any of you are interested in trying to support that project as it begins to work through, just chat with Anne, the treasurer for GC, enabling children to go on. Some of these guys, this is Peter and Paul, they went on, they did S5 and S6 in a local school, and then one of them has been able to go on to university. So it's incredible what these youngsters can achieve if the opportunities are provided for them. This is Miriam. We met Miriam 2 years ago at the School for the Blind. Miriam sadly had lost her sight only recently when we met up with her. She was still coming to terms with that. What a massive change of life for her. But she was very precious and very lovely. And it was a real joy for us to spend some time just getting to know her a little bit. And alongside her, we will continue to support as best as we can youngsters to go to the School for the Blind. And thank you again for those who sponsor and help that to happen both within the church and the wider community to enable children, young people to go on despite some of the struggles that they're facing in Uganda. It's an incredible ministry that you all have. And Miriam's a good example of that. This year we were able to sponsor another child to be able to go to the School for the Blind too. So that's very exciting. Alongside that, we also partner with a school that supports young people with who are deaf. And it's a lovely place to visit. It's full of goodness and God. And it's a very beautiful experience meeting up with these youngsters who are struggling to find a place, both in the present and in the future. And again, this year, we're going to be able to sponsor another 2 children to be able to go to that school. You can see some of the youngsters that we've been able to sponsor over the years. It's great to know that your giving, your sacrifice, together with many in our community, is making such a significant difference to the lives of some of the poorest children on the planet. So thank you so much for that. Coming this year is another visit to Uganda, and we're planning to visit Uganda between the 13th and the 23rd of October this year. Those dates are still a little bit flexible, but we're kind of feeling those will probably be the dates. The purpose of this visit is to do maintenance work at the school, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. And of course, to maintain those links with both the school, Crossroads, and of course the special needs projects which we're involved with too. And we just wanted to say this morning, if you feel that little nudge from God, that this might be something for you, then don't let that nudge go without at least exploring the possibilities. Sometimes we think, well, maybe that's not for me. I'm not the right kind of person. But God has an assignment for all of us in different ways. And maybe this morning, God is just nudging you to consider being part of that team going out to Uganda. I can guarantee that you will have the very best transport that is available when you arrive in Entebbe. Nothing to worry about there. There's plenty of room for 20 or so more people to get on that. So it's going to be quite a luxurious trip, a bit like going on a nice, nice holiday somewhere or something like that. No, seriously, this is the kind of vehicles. If the team is big enough, we'll probably have 2 of these transit vans. And there you can see Angela and Anne on the visit that we made just about 2 years ago. Almost to the day. So it's nice and it's nice environment to travel from Entebbe to Soroti. It's an adventure, and the roads are always full of lovely things to see and lovely things to put your hands over your eyes and pretend you can't see. But it's all good and it's exciting. It's a big adventure for God. Alongside that, you may be thinking, well, if I did decide to go to Soroti, to Uganda, I'd love to stay in one of those African huts where I can watch the sunset going down. An African sunset is such a beautiful sight. That's a possibility if you really wanted to do that, although you will have the local python for company, along with various spiders bigger than your hand, and of course, swarms and swarms of mosquitoes who would love to really get close to you. So that's the reason why, basically, I loiter around Soroti Hotel. And sorry? That is me, yes, believe it or not. I can still actually manage to get into that little shape. Well, I could last year. I don't know whether I will be able to this year. Anyway, so Soroti Hotel is a very nice hotel. It's very secure. Many of you have been there, and you're well looked after. And it's a very safe place to be. And because Uganda works on a different time structure than we do in the UK, you get plenty of time for little naps and enjoying the sunshine and a little siesta every now and again while you wait for the minibus or whatever to arrive for your next assignment in Uganda. This is the kind of food that you will enjoy. This is very much sort of local food. If you don't fancy that, there's always somebody that will finish it up for you. And she's not here, is she? But for legal purposes, I need to say that both plates weren't hers, okay? But Angela loves the culture, loves the food. She embraces Africa, just like her mum and dad did when they came too. So So nothing to worry about in terms of food. The food is always great. It's absolutely lovely. And of course, one of the privileges of going to Soroti, Uganda, is that you get to meet some of the nicest people on the planet, including Brian, of course, who's right in the middle there. And it's just great to spend time with these people who are inspirational, who have struggles in life, but have enormous faith that has enabled them to continue to move on in life. Alongside that, some of my favourite people on the planet, of course, are the students at Crossroads School. They are vibrant, they are amazing, they are full of life and energy. As I said this morning, some of them are even Arsenal supporters. And over the years, Nigel, I've tried to persuade them of the error of their way in trying to support Arsenal. But they won't give up on it. So they're just kids who love life just like any other young people do. But it's always a joy to spend time with them. That's when they're lining up for their lunch, their one meal of the day, and through the kindness of our supporters, like yourselves and others within our community, we're able to provide a meal a day for them. And as I say, many of these children coming from incredibly vulnerable backgrounds, incredibly poor backgrounds too. Of course, Uganda has a culture. If you love exploring cultures, there's some beautiful things to see, and to have the opportunity just to experience life in a very different way, but a very beautiful and enjoyable way. The emphasis of this particular visit is to do maintenance work. The school has a rain harvesting system, and over the years that system has decayed, as you can see. We're now in that place where some of those big, large water containers are going to have to be replaced. We will employ local people to do that because they will have the skills and the expertise, but the team will be there to encourage them. And then there's opportunities. You can see one of the classrooms there to do painting and some of the maintenance work around the school to really put it back into tip-top shape. Over the years with the weather, life becomes quite challenging for all of that. So that would be the kind of work that you would be engaged in. Nothing too technical, but a great opportunity just to spend time in the most amazing school amongst the most amazing students. Like every church and charity, there's always opportunities to become more involved. At the present moment, we're looking for someone who would work alongside the current treasurer, who is Anne, as you know, and hopefully with the role, with the view of taking over that role in November. So necessities, I guess, some skills with accounting and budgets. You'll have the support of both Anne and Roy Corker, who will be alongside you to ensure that you have all the support that you will need. To become treasurer, you will have to become a trustee, of course, of Global Challenge. If you're interested in that or you want to explore that, talk with Anne, or you can email, drop a line in, and it would be wonderful if someone could really say, yeah, that's something I think God's got for me. I think I've got the skills to be able to carry that through. And just to finish, we've got, following the success of our Indian takeaway meal, we've got another one planned for Friday the 11th of April. It's going to be a Mexican meal cooked authentically by a Mexican, Olga Bull, who creates fantastic, beautiful Mexican food. And so it's going to be come and collect this time. So no deliveries, 25 quid per meal for 2 people and 12.50 for 1 person. And you can sign up for that, get in touch with the office. All that information is in the bulletin. And it's a 3-course meal, which has got to be the deal of the day. And the lovely thing about that is while you sit down and enjoy your Mexican food with a glass of tequila or whatever it is, you will know that the fact you're doing that is going to enable half a dozen students to have a meal at Crossroads School. So it's a win-win if you can be involved with that too. So watch out for further updates on that, keep an eye on things, and phone up the office and Sarah will point you in the right direction. Thank you for all your ongoing support, your love and grace, and we give thanks for the amazing things that God is doing through your commitment and your sacrifice in Soroti in Uganda. Thank you, Chris.